in listings. I mean, we have the highest amount of listings we've had in many, many years right now in Houston. And so I think it's certainly becoming a level playing field for buyers and sellers.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you for joining us here. It is show number 580, and we're glad that you joined us. As always, you can go to stewart.com/radio. That's right, stewart.com/radio, just in case you want to see the show or go to the show archives. It's very simple, stewart.com/radio, or even on YouTube, simply go to Radio Bill. Let's get down to business as we welcome Leslie Lerner. Leslie Lerner is a TREC, Texas Real Estate Commission commissioner. She has a brokerage, Leslie Lerner Properties, and something called Learn More. So let's learn more with Leslie Lerner. Hey, Leslie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Bill. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to learn more, right?
I guess so.
So first of all, Leslie, let's talk about TREC. Let's tell people, in case they're listening from out of state, everything's governed in real estate, and let's tell people the role of TREC and then your role, what you do with TREC.
The Texas Real Estate Commission is a regulatory agency for the state of Texas. We license individuals and corporations or businesses. We also regulate, meaning if you get a complaint or if something's gone wrong, we take that case into our enforcement division and decide what to do with that licensee in the situation. We also work with our legislature to enforce the laws that they make. We also work with Texas Realtors to help author laws for our legislature to vote on.
And let's give people an idea in terms of the numbers of realtors that there are in Houston. First of all, there's a lot of realtors in Houston, but not to mention the state of Texas, of where this body is governing.
We have over 200,000 licensees, I believe.
In Texas?
Yes.
And then Houston, there's I hear numbers, at least in HAR, there's 40,000+.
Something around there, yes.
Realtors are everywhere.
They are everywhere.
There to help buyers and sellers all over this large state. So what are the issues or anything new that's in for realtors to know that as they're listening about what's happening with TREC and some of the things that they need to be more aware of now than maybe 6 months ago?
You just actually said something that kind of triggered me. You said that there are so many realtors in the state of Texas and Houston alone. And that is I don't want to call it an issue, but that is a true fact. And it makes it really hard sometimes to know a good agent from a bad agent. And when you said that, I was like, let's discuss that. You really need to interview an agent. And there's also a new law that passed due to all of the legislation with the National Association of Realtors. And it's saying that you have to sign a showing agreement with an agent prior to ever working with that agent. And that doesn't mean it's a buyer's representation form. Texas has had a buyer's representation form for a long time, but it was not required by TREC. Now it is required to have a showing agreement and to have a buyer's representation agreement signed before presenting an offer. So that showing agreement in the written legislation that was just passed says a showing agreement cannot be more than 14 days, but you also are not providing any sort of brokerage services with that showing agreement. You can only give factual information. So people need to be aware that things are changing and there are new forms to be signed, but you do not have to be obligated to one agent through a buyer's representation form until you are writing an offer on a home. Would you want to be obligated to a broker? Yes, after you've interviewed them and understand that they have the knowledge and expertise you need, because that broker can then give you more than just factual information. They can provide you with their opinionated knowledge. So that just passed in our legislative session.
And interesting, you just triggered something that I'm thinking about, and that is knowing what you know, not just as a broker, a realtor, an entrepreneur, TREC commissioner, but if you were buying a property, say, in any other state than Texas, knowing what you know, what would be maybe three, there could be a lot, but just take 2 or 3 bullet points as you would look for a realtor to help you in that other state. What would you look for? What's so important that we should be paramount to picking the right real estate professional?
I always look at experience, number one, but experience doesn't always mean that you have the knowledge you need and the expertise to represent a client correctly. Books don't really teach you as much as your experience. I would definitely get referrals and ask who have they worked with before and see what they've done. Look them up on the internet. Do whatever you can to look at testimonials, but understand that experience isn't always it. And also geographic competency. Where are you buying that house? In Texas, we have a law that says you have to have geographic competency. So if you live in Houston and you're selling in the Woodlands and you know nothing about the Woodlands, then you're not supposed to be working in the Woodlands. You need to find somebody else to take that listing. So you have to make sure that these people have geographic competency, they understand contract language, and they can explain it to you, and they're going to hold your hand throughout the whole process. You don't want somebody that just wants a commission. You want somebody that's going to truly work with you.
You know, one of my favorite things that I like when working with a realtor?
What is that?
That they answer the phone.
Yes.
Or call, and if they're tied up, that they call you back quickly.
Correct.
I think that's cool. And I say that because I've reached out in some of my real estate interests out of the state, and it's amazing what happens. And also here in Houston.
In Texas, if you are part of a real estate transaction, no matter what side you're on, you are supposed to get back with a person that is involved in that transaction within 48 hours. If not, somebody can file a complaint with TREC.
And you get complaints at TREC, so you have the heartbeat of what's happening in the industry.
I do.
What's the most common complaint, if there is one?
I mean, these days there's a lot of lease fraud going on, and lease fraud is rampant. I just went to a conference that's nationwide, and it's rampant everywhere. You have people fraudulently turning in leases to homeowners or to landlords or to agents, and that person may be the right name, but they'll file a fake credit history, or they'll put somebody's name on a contract and it's actually a different person they're putting in the house, or they'll put a fake reference. I mean, there are so many fraudulent things going on right now that it's pretty scary.
So much to know about TREC, but let's move on to, you're a broker owner of a company called Leslie Lerner Properties. Let's tell people how you're helping buyers and sellers.
I've been in this business, I guess we just figured this out, 32 years.
Yes, I have a calculator. It's a lot.
I know, it's a long time. So I started a business maybe 13, 14 years ago that is flat fee listings and rebated commissions. So it's worked out really well. You're getting full service, you're just not paying exorbitant commission rates.
And in terms of geographically where you serve the buyers and sellers, where have you been? I know you go all over, but let's just take the last 2-3 months. Geographically, where have you been the most?
I've mostly been in the city, and I feel like I was just in a suburb as well. And I was just in Spring, and I'm about to go out to the Woodlands.
There you go. So also, along the way with your knowledge, Leslie, let's tell people about Learn More, because you came on the show, I guess, about a year and a half before it actually took off or it was introduced. Let's tell people what Learn More is.
Learn More is a contract understanding platform. You can take any PDF of a contract you have, whether it be a contract or a document or a closing statement, insurance document, electricity agreement, whatever it may be, and you upload it into our system, and it'll produce meaning in any language you want, paragraph by paragraph by paragraph. It's not just a summary. It gives you layman's term meaning, contextual examples, FAQs, text-to-speech, e-signature, whatever you need. So in the real estate business, how I use it is I upload the forms and I send them to my clients for understanding. They can go through it at their own pace. Once they're done, it puts I understand it and I consent to sign, and then they can sign it electronically. Too many people now are just sending forms electronically and not explaining what people are signing, and it leaves all the parties at risk. So that's why I developed Learn More.
And let's tell people the website in case they want to learn more.
It's learnmore.com, but it's a little different. It's LERNMORE. So there is no A in Learn More, just like my last name.
Reminding people that we're talking to Leslie Lerner. So the learn and all the categories you mentioned, insurance documents, they have so many words. Real estate documents.
They do.
We need a little bit of help and simplification in these things. Anything legal, it's like, oh man.
So yep, there's a lot of legal jargon in everything we sign, and it leaves us all at risk. And I just got something by email today, signing off on a city permit, and I'm like, I can't sign this. It's for my HOA, and you're asking me to be liable. No way. So you really have to pay attention to what you're signing.
Leslie, let's tell people anything else you want them to know about Learn More, Trek, or your company.
There's a lot of great things going on with Trek. So just stay tuned. We're actually increasing the broker experience requirements. Education requirements are staying the same. The broker experience requirements are about to double, which I think is great, showing that you're going to have more experienced brokers that know how to run a brokerage and to supervise brokers. So that should be coming pretty soon. I think we have our meeting in November and that will be finalized. We're also doing beefing up our temporary suspension system. So if you are, I guess, convicted of a crime, or the process will move much faster.
So many things to know. Leslie, let's tell people how they can reach you, Leslie Lerner.
They can reach me at leslielernerproperties.com, 713-489-9900. Also learnmore.com, 713-489-9900.
And what's the Trek website?
Trek.texas.gov.
It's TREC.
.texas.gov.
Sounds great. Leslie, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
As we continue, let's talk to Sandy Harrington and Jacob Rohn. They are with the H&R Home Team. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill. How's it going?
It's good to see you. So
See
let's
you.
tell people, first of all, Jacob,
Yes.
what is the H&R Home Team?
So it's a real estate team that me and my mom formed whenever I got my brokerage or my real estate license roughly 5 years ago. And the H&R Home just stands for our last name, so Harrington and Rohn. I wanted it to be R&H, but she wanted to have the H first, so
She might
I
be the
conceded.
boss, correct?
Correct, yeah. She's got a little bit of seniority on me.
Well, and I think one of the things to bring to people's attention right now is here on 580 shows, I believe this is the first that we've had a mother and son team. So, Sandy, let's tell people how Jacob got into the business of selling real estate. I mean, obviously, he probably seen you help buyers and sellers, but let's tell people a little bit about how he got to be part of the team.
Of course, Bill. So I joke when we go on appointments and let all my clients know that although he's got his license for 5 years, he's been training for this position his whole life. From hanging door hangers to going on appointments, listing appointments, buyer appointments, passing out stuff at the ballpark. And he's just a natural with people. So he gravitated towards real estate.
And as you said before we started recording, you have 3 other children, but it's interesting. Are any the other kids involved in real estate, or Jacob just emerged?
Jacob's the only one.
How about that?
The other ones are introverts.
So it's a whole in different interests. So, but let's tell people, as far as geographically, Sandy, where you're doing most of your work. I know it changes, but let's just say in the last couple of weeks or so, geographically.
So I do have quite a bit of my business in and around the Kingwood area, northeast Houston, Humble, Tascasita, Cleveland, stretching out to Springs, so the northwest side as well. But we do stretch all the way down south, down towards Galveston, the island, and kind of cover most of Houston.
And certainly for people listening outside of Houston, northeast, well, that's northeast, and that's a really big swatch because we are a large city in terms of land mass and pretty much everything else, right, Jacob?
Yeah, you are correct. And like my mom said, our brokerage is located in Kingwood, and so we do get a lot of our business in Kingwood and that surrounding area. But we also live on the southeast side of town, and so we do a lot of business from friends and family down there. And like she said, we've done all the way down to Galveston, just because we're very familiar with that area from Galveston all the way up until the Woodlands, Conroe area, just because we've lived in this area, our whole lives.
And Sandy, give people an idea. Let's talk just a little bit about Kingwood, because we really don't get to talk about it too much. What's the market like right now if someone is interested in buying a home in the Kingwood, Atascocita area, and they're kind of joined at the hip, so to speak, right?
Right. They are. Kingwood, I think, is a wonderful suburb of Houston, but it's been annexed by Houston. So you get a lot of custom homes that are built in there, a lot of neighborhoods. It's got a strong sense of community. Atascocita's developed over the years. You get some newer construction, newer neighborhoods. Kingwood's been there for a little bit, been established, but a lot of good deals.
So if I'm a buyer right now, would I have a pretty good selection?
Yes.
So a good time to buy would be?
Right now.
There you go. Let's buy right now.
It would be. We're seeing that sellers are a little more negotiable on prices, terms. I know some of the buyers are a little nervous about the rates right now, although historically they're not really that high. Going back all the way to the 70s, they're still relatively decent. But there are different things that you can do to negotiate a better rate in your deal. We work with lenders. We have good lenders that we work with that have been doing this for a long time. Sometimes we can negotiate the seller paying a 2-1 buy down, where they temporarily get an adjustment on that rate so that it's a little more affordable while we wait for the interest rates to drop.
Well, we got a little bit of an idea how Jacob got in the business, but what piqued your interest those many years ago where you said, I want to be in real estate?
Well, so my first marriage, my husband was a custom home builder, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I just started working with his clients, and he really encouraged me to go get my license and do this on a broader scale.
And here you go, and here you are years later. And Jacob, give us an idea, and I would think in terms of you're complementing each other on what you're doing as a team out there, sure, generationally speaking, but also what's your perspective out there in terms of what's happening in your market there, Jacob?
Pretty similarly aligned to my mom's perspective. I think that right now it's a double-edged sword. I mean, you do have higher interest rates with higher home prices, but you also can negotiate a better deal because we're seeing high levels of inventory and a low amount of buyers. And so sellers are a little bit more willing to work with sellers' concessions, and you can use some of that to buy down your rate. And that's a huge advantage. And so you can get the home for a better price, which is big long-term. And if rates do go down eventually, then you can always, lenders will tell you at that point you can refinance your loan to take advantage of that lower interest rate. And so I really do think that in any market, it just depends on where you are as a buyer. If you need to move because of work, or if you want to move your kids to a certain school district, where it's that kind of necessity buyer, I think that at any time, you should buy because you need to, not just because of what the market's doing. And then just try to get a good deal when you can, and do what's right for you and your family.
And right now, Jacob, are you helping more buyers or more sellers?
So I will say that me and my mom work with a lead source. We work with Dave Ramsey, and he sends us a lot of buyers. And so I would say it's 50-50 for us. So we are very well versed with buyers and with sellers. I would say typically right now, agents are probably working with more sellers since we're seeing more inventory. In which we do have a lot of listings, and we do work with a lot of sellers, but we do have a good amount of buyers as well. So
this is another show first.
Yeah.
We've got show first all over the place here on this show number 580. But as far as someone working with Dave Ramsey, this is the first time now I've heard Dave Ramsey, and he talked about or seen on the internet where he has certain realtors that he recommends, and you guys are one of them, right?
Correct.
So that's
correct.
Awesome. Sandy, tell us how that came about and how exciting that is, and it sounds like it's working.
So I appreciate Dave Ramsey's program, and what he shares with people on how to get out of debt.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
Financial peace, freedom, or financial peace. And I put in an application to learn more about his program. And it took about 2 years of sitting on the sidelines, waiting for them to decide that they wanted to interview me, vet me, make sure that I was a good fit for their program.
2 years just for the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes. And that was with me being in production for a while, probably at least 11 years.
So then when he recommends a realtor or his organization does, that these are people that are checked out, to say the least.
Correct. And we are familiar with different scenarios. We can step in and we can help people. Most of the people that come through his program have either been through his baby steps on the financial piece, or they're in the process of trying to figure out how to get through those baby steps. And so knowing his program, being able to shift and maneuver and help identify what a client needs or what their objective is for their real estate goals, and being able to shift and pivot to help them achieve it.
And as far as the people that you have served or are serving as a result of Dave Ramsey, what's the percentage that are from here in Houston, where they hear the show or they look on the website and they say, hey, we want to call Sandy and Jacob, versus people coming from out of state?
Yeah, so I would say over the couple of years that I've worked with the Ramsey leads, probably have helped about 10 different families relocate to our state from other states.
And where are you seeing? You're gonna maybe you're gonna say California, but are you seeing people from other than California that you're serving?
I do. Where I've seen, or where I've serviced, the majority is from Tennessee, ironically.
And that's interesting because Tennessee is one of the few states, like Texas, that does not have a state income tax. So
Correct.
A lot of times people come here or go to Tennessee to not have the state income tax.
Exactly. It's usually for a job relocation.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, Jacob, before we close the segment, what else do you want people to know about what you guys are doing?
I just would like to add that, working with my mom has been a huge, blessing for me. And I just want to tell her thank you while I'm on the air for getting me into it and kind of coddling me into it. But I also want to say that when you work with the H&R Home team, you get both of us. We work with almost 100% of our clients together, whether it's a group text and you have both of us. That way we can offer more coverage. We can offer quick responses. I know, like you said on your previous segment, you like being called back quick. And that's one of the big things for us, is making sure that at least one of us is getting back to our clients and they meet both of us at phase one. And so they're comfortable with working with both of us. So that's kind of one of the things I'd like to throw in there.
And Jacob, let's tell people how they can reach you. Jacob Roan.
You can reach me by phone. This is my personal, so you can text or call. It's 832-703-7912. Sure, it's 832-703-7912.
And Mom, that was pretty nice for Jacob to say, wasn't it?
It was.
And it's not even Mother's Day.
I know.
Well, what else do you want people to know, Sandy, before we close this segment?
So we enjoy working with buyers, sellers. If you do have a challenge with your real estate need, please give us a call. We are solution-based at figuring it out for you. And like Jacob said, you do get both of us. So between the two of us, we can usually come up with a pretty good solution for you. So my cell number is 281-995-8814. Again, that's 281-995-8814.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah,
thank you, Bill.
We appreciate it.
Let's talk to Kara Moore. Her company is Del Monte Realty. Kara, welcome to the show.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
So great to see you, and we're glad that you're here today. First of all, let's tell people, Kara, about Del Monte Realty.
So Del Monte is run by two lovely ladies, Katie and Casey, who happen to be neighbors on Del Monte Street and started their brokerage some 10 years ago. There's about 20 of us. We're all women, and I think every one of us is mothers.
Oh, wow.
And it is It's awesome. I feel like we all have each other's back, and we all help each other out when needed. It's a good place to be. I'm enjoying it.
Interesting. They're on a street, so let's call the company Del Monte Realty. I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
So as far as the marketplace and where you have been or work a lot geographically, let's tell people where that is here in the Houston area.
So I live in the villages, the Memorial Villages, so certainly do a lot of work there in the Memorial area, Spring Branch. Also do plenty of work in the Heights and Timber Grove, Westview, and so all up and down the I-10 corridor, certainly Memorial Park, all those areas I'm quite familiar with and have done a lot of work in.
Let's tell people a little bit about West University. In case they're listening here in Houston, it's a big city, but it's there's a lot of the places you just mentioned, there's a lot of slices to this pizza pie.
Yeah, so West University is its own little city with its own water and its own mayor, much like the villages. So Hunters Creek Village, and we have our own police system there. It's kind of a crazy thing, but I really love the trash service. No trash cans out on the curb like you see several times a week in other areas. They go behind your fence, grab the trash, take it out. So it's in the police response time in both of those cities is quite nice. It's quick.
Interesting how you lay all that out, because it's the details that are so important as we think about real estate, where we're going to live, where we're going to move. The details are so important to how we enjoy our lifestyle.
Absolutely. The schools, the community, the neighborhoods, and they're all so different, but absolutely all very important. And knowing what your clients are wanting, where they want to live, what their goals are. Do they have children? Are they planning to use private schools? Are they really interested in the public schools? And so, yeah, all those details are important.
Right now, are you helping more buyers or sellers at this moment, you were saying the last couple of weeks?
I think I definitely probably have more sellers that I'm helping right now. We would love to have more buyers. A lot of buyers they don't feel rushed. They're taking their time. There's not a sense of urgency right now. They have a lot to choose from. In listings, we have the highest amount of listings we've had in many, many years right now in Houston. And so I think it's certainly becoming a level playing field for buyers and sellers.
And out of interest, the people that are selling now that are they selling to move out of the state? Or how many would be selling to move out of Texas, or they're just moving to different parts here in Houston?
Certainly some are moving out of state for job transfers. It kind of runs the gamut, really. I've got people selling their parents' homes who might be in an estate. I'm seeing I have younger clients that I've had for a long time that are doing well in their jobs, and they're starting to have children, and so they need a little more space, and so they're moving up. So we're selling their smaller place that maybe we helped purchase 5 or 6, 7 years ago, and moving them into a place with a bit more room and where they can host and have their family or parents stay with them. So a lot of different scenarios.
We're talking with Kara Moore. Kara, let's tell people, what was it about real estate, and what did you do prior to real estate where you said, man, I want to be in real estate? But what you did before is of particular interest, at least to me, and I think everybody else.
Yeah, you're getting at so I went to law school, and my first job out of law school was working for the Harris County District Attorney's Office, trying cases. It was thrilling. No other job has ever been quite like it. It was exciting, and certainly a tight-knit community of criminal law. And as well, I did defense work after I left there. Everybody knows everybody, so you want to treat people well. Yeah. So it's been fun. So I did that for about 10 years.
So you were in the midst of criminals, and so you have an idea, at least back then. I would think it's alarming, all the crimes that take place on a daily basis today. It's unfortunate, but you were in the world of knowing details, defending people, prosecuting people. That has to be fascinating to do that.
It It is. It is. My two best friends are still in the criminal law field, and certainly I have a lot of colleagues I've kept up with, and there's never a dull dinner conversation. It might not always be appropriate for the lay person, but yeah, it's, I tried, they start you out on DWIs and minor drug cases, and then I left, and after trying murder cases and sexual assaults and, bigger drug cases. So it was a lot. Yeah, for sure.
And then you said somewhere, I want to be a real estate professional.
Yeah. So
how was that transition?
I've always loved architecture and houses and people. I love talking to people. And so I ended up, being drawn towards real estate. And certainly I get to interact with new people all the time. I mean, some of my clients, we'll have a run of 2 or 3 months together where we're selling a home or buying a home. And then I'll get to come back around. But it's always engaging and listening to what they want and how I can help them and figure out, what they need and how to get them that. And so there's a lot I'm interested in. I never get tired of seeing houses or engaging with people.
And I would think just to be an attorney of any sort, to know the details, the paperwork, the words, the tons of words,
yes,
to be able to take that, it has to be a super advantage for you to have that legal eye, and then to have the helping people with the real estate needs, to have that understanding. That would be a tremendous benefit, I think.
It is, and I think maybe I take it for granted. I feel very comfortable with contracts and reading through all of our forms are largely promulgated by TREC. Being able to understand those and explain those to my client and go through, and help them understand each piece is yes, certainly my background is helpful for that.
In addition, I'm also thinking of the details that it takes to put a case together. Again, details, but also there's so many things.
Negotiation.
The negotiation, but all the things that you have to be, and others in the real estate world, to serve, whether it's buyers or sellers. There's a lot of things, until you get into it, it's amazing how much you and other professionals have to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's... showing the houses is just the first little nugget, and, going through the contract and understanding the language, being able to each transaction, I am learning something new, and certainly everyone I've done before helps me. But being able to go through inspections and have a list of trusted advisors, be they mortgage bankers, insurance, roofers, contractors, and knowing what things to look for in inspections and having people you trust to lead you through that. And so it's a lot of people coming together to make it work well, your title company, et cetera.
And as far as here we are at the end of the year, it seems like there's only a few weeks left. Probably are, maybe 10, 12 or so. 13. Anyway, so as you look ahead with your organizational skills and all the things the people that have followed you, the referrals that you're working with, how are you looking forward to 2026 at this point? What's it look like if you were to speculate? Oh,
goodness, you're going to make me speculate?
Yes.
This year has been, someone earlier talked about interest rates, and I know a lot of people, I think we got spoiled by these insane 3% interest rates. I remember buying my first house in 1996, and I think my rate was 7.5%, and it was really good.
Yeah, you're excited about it.
Yeah, I was thrilled. I got an amazing rate. And so, right now interest rates are in the low 6s, depending, but that's still a great rate. And so, I think a lot of, I'm hoping that, we see more buyers moving and encouraged to take advantage of our listings. And And so I think it's been a interesting year where the great houses are still selling, those turnkey, beautiful homes. You still will get multiple offers. But I'm also seeing a lot of buyers come through and say, yeah, I think we're going to see 3, 4, 5 other houses still. They're just, they're taking their time, it's a big decision. So as they should. And so we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Well, Kara, before we close this segment, what else do you want people to know about what you're doing or anything else?
Oh, gosh. I mean, as far as our brokerage, we have access to a stager who is part of our brokerage. We have access to a designer who is on staff. And so I think that really helps give people vision when maybe you're looking at something that's not turnkey. You're looking at something that needs some work and you're trying to imagine, what could this be? Could it be what I want it to be? And so I think it's helpful to have those different trades and access to those in our brokerage. And so, I think that would be one thing helpful to know.
Sounds good. Kara, thanks for being with us. Let's tell people how they can reach you, Kara Moore.
They can reach me at 713-818-9778, or they could email me at Kara, C-A-R-A, at delmontehtx.com. 713-818-9778. And you can call or text that number.
Sounds good. Thanks for being with us, Kara.
Thank you, Bill.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is with Stewart Insurance, John Bramlett.
Howdy, Bill.
Well, John, here we are. So much information, so many show firsts here today, and you're back to talk about insurance.
Yes, it is. I'm glad to be back, and congratulations on show 580.
580, it's amazing. At the time is flying, and there you go. We're getting close to 600.
We are.
Wow. So what should we talk about today as we think about insurance? People all over Houston and beyond wait for this segment each week.
Well, we're going to continue our series of key insurance indicators. So this is key insurance indicator number 7, and we're going to talk about general liability insurance. And the critical aspect of general liability insurance is it covers, in a broad terms, bodily injury and property damage. So for a real estate broker, this is critical coverage to have, and many times it can be required. But there are 9 plus 1 key insurance indicators as it comes to general liability insurance.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but they're important. The first one is premises liability. So if someone were to be injured at your office, so if you had a brick and mortar realtor office, or you brought them by your home and somebody was injured at your office, it could help with some of the medical costs as well as potentially the defense costs. So that's why that's a critical one. The second would be off-premises liability incident. So a lot of our brokers do business off-premise, so they have open houses, they have showings, they go to community events. And if they were to have an incident where a guest were to be hurt or they were to damage that property, that's where this off-premise liability insurance portion of the policy would come into play. It's important that there's an advertising and personal injury element to it. So when we talk about personal injury, it's not a broken arm, it's a broken heart when it comes to this idea of insurance. So you wrote something, you said something that affected my ability to buy a home or sell a home, or affected my ability to help somebody buy a home or sell a home, or you used a photograph that you didn't have the rights to, or language that you didn't have the rights to, so you had a copyright infringement issue, or you had a certain layout of a home that you had the rights to for a specific usage, but you used it for another home, that could become an issue. So copyright infringement. So that's where that comes into play. Or if there's some sort of a misrepresentation in your marketing message, that's where this advertising and promotion, personal injury would come into play. Number 4 is landlord lease requirements. Many cases, if a brokerage is leasing their office, the landlord will require that they have general liability coverage. So we can work directly with the landlord, find out what their requirements are, and then we can build that into the policy. Defense costs, I mentioned that earlier. Even if the claim is frivolous, defense costs can be expensive, so attorney fees can be expensive. So having that ability to offset some of those defense costs can be really valuable. So that's another good reason to have general liability. You want to make sure that that's included in the policy. Medical payments, so that's kind of a help on a small injury. So if somebody were injured but it wasn't anything critical, and you didn't want to institute the full policy or the full claim, you can go and use the medical payments to help offset some of those medical costs. Additional endorsement. So all an endorsement is an addition to the policy. So let's say you're a real estate broker, but maybe you also do some property management work. So you want to make sure that that endorsement is added into the policy. Equally important are exclusions, what's not included. So again, if it's a policy that you do a lot of showings and maybe there's an exclusion in the policy that doesn't cover showings, then you want to make sure that you understand that, because we don't want you to be in a situation where you file a claim and the claim's denied because you didn't have coverage. So Leslie talked earlier about understanding the language in the policy and what it doesn't cover. That's where the endorsements and the exclusions really are critical, so you understand what is and is not covered in that policy. And then number 9, and one that we'll get into greater detail next week, there are some ways that you can bundle a couple of different policies together to improve coverage and save yourself some money. But we'll have to wait till next week to learn about that. And then the plus one is always working with Stewart Insurance, that we can work with our real estate broker clients, our independent title and attorney agent clients, realtors, and property management firms on their general liability coverage.
So many things to think about, John.
Well, it is, and it's important to understand that these are just some basic critical issues that if you're going to have a general liability policy, that you know that you've got that coverage and you understand what is and is not covered, and then make adjustments based upon what your firm's needs are at that time.
We want to remind people you're helping people not just here in Houston, even though the show is broadcast here, it's on the iHeart app and all those things, but people outside of Houston, I don't know, Tennessee, North Carolina, you have clients there and you're helping them all over the United States.
Yes, as an independent insurance broker, we have a couple of benefits. One, we do have the reach across the U.S., so we are working with families and individuals on their personal insurance across the U.S., as well as working with real estate businesses across the U.S. on their business insurance. And as an independent agent, we have access to a variety of companies. So whether we're helping an individual with their home insurance or their auto, wind, flood, motorcycle, we've got a variety of companies that we can work with to build the best policies possible, build the best plans possible. And the same when it comes to businesses. So if we're working a real estate broker, we're going to have a variety of companies that we can work with to build the best plans possible to make sure they have the coverage they need at that time.
And that's kind of nice, too, because taking the case again where someone is here in Houston, they have their home for sale, and they're going to move to another state, maybe North Dakota or something like that. I'm just picking. We got a lot of states to pick from, to use as an example. North Dakota, it doesn't matter. They have somebody at Stewart Insurance they like working with. Hey, I'm moving to North Dakota. They could keep that relationship and then get help.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to guess the rates are lower in North Dakota. Just guessing. I don't know.
There's a good chance they're lower than they are in Harris County. But yes, we can do that and we can help. And we do quite a bit of relocation business, so that when folks are moving from another city or state into Houston because of career, they're going to have to start over. So they're going to have a new home insurance policy, and they're going to need to have flood insurance, and they're going to need to have a new auto insurance policies, potentially an upgraded umbrella policy. So we can work with them on those folks that are moving into town, relocations on their personal insurance.
I'm also thinking, as I had a discussion with someone this week, there are so many people that collect things. You're probably helping people with jewelry policies, because there's people with watch collections, jewelry, and all that. Sometime maybe you're going to have a list on that coming up soon. I don't want to preempt that, but I know you're always thinking. But that's one of the things. There's a lot of things that people collect that have high value of all sorts of things.
Well, there are, and that's why it's important that as an insurance advisor, we take the time and we make the time to get to know our clients and understand what their needs are. And it's also why it's important that our clients are willing to invest the time to have those conversations, because you're right, we can't just assume that if I have home insurance, everything is covered. For an example, somebody that has a high-end watch collection, we're going to want to look at some either a home policy that can help with that, or maybe there's an umbrella on top of it, or a specific jewelry policy specific for that watch collection. So understanding what's important to that client and what they have can help us drive and build the plans that are most important to them, and then provides the best coverage.
John, you want to tell us what we're going to talk about next week, or we're going to save that as a surprise?
We're going to save that as a surprise, but it has to do with general liability coverage. It's just taking it and expanding the coverage.
What else should we know, John?
Well, if you'd like to be properly insured, and all that simply means is that whether you are very risk averse and you want the most robust coverage in the world as a business or a family, or you're not so robust and risk averse, or for financial reasons you need to have a very conservative policy, we can work with you. The key is understanding what you do and don't have covered. And if you're comfortable with that, then in our world you're properly insured, and we would love that opportunity to help you get there. And you can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com, or email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
You know, I was in Arkansas last week on my walking trail as I walk every morning. I ran into someone, they said, I want to be properly insured. What number should they call in Arkansas?
The Arkansas hotline is 866-798-2827.
John, thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure, Bill.
Well, as we wind up the show, here she is once again, Leslie Lerner, Trek Commissioner, Leslie Lerner Properties, and Learn More. Hey, Leslie, welcome back.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, as we wind things up, Leslie, what else should we know about any of those things, or even anything else?
I think we've really covered everything. If you have complaints against an agent, if you don't feel that they're doing the right thing, send your complaint to Trek and let's see what we can do about it. We're always trying to raise the bar in our industry.
Do you take complaints daily?
Complaints are submitted daily and they pile up, but the only way that we make our industry better is through complaints.
There's no doubt. And the valuable information I think you're getting there in the organization Trek to be able to make it better and make it better for buyers and sellers and realtors, it's got to be fascinating to see that come in firsthand in what you're doing.
And one bad agent can lower all of our values. So we need to keep our value up and raise the bar.
Now, these are three important things you're doing. Again, helping buyers and sellers, Trek Commissioner, entrepreneur, building Learn More better every day. In your spare time, if you have any, Leslie, what do you do just to relax?
I go to the gym and I also play pickleball.
So the pickleball, how long have you been playing pickleball?
It's almost a year now.
Yeah, I have not tried it yet. In the meantime, Leslie, let's tell people how they can reach you to learn more.
Okay, you could reach Learn More at learnmore.com or Leslie Lerner Properties at leslielernerproperties.com, 713-489-9900. 713-489-9900.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And now, Sandy Harrington, Jacob Rohn, H&R Home Team, Keller Williams. So let's tell people, H&R Home Team, that is your company, your group that you call it, Sandy,
Our team.
you're part of Keller Williams.
Yes, we're part of Keller Williams Realty Northeast out in Kingwood.
Yep, and so H&R Home Team is just our team name that we operate under, but we do work for Keller Williams.
And that's a great thing. You know, Keller Williams and other companies do have people that maybe a husband and wife team. In this case, once again, if you're just tuning in, this is a mother and son team. First time on the show. It's super awesome. So those are great things that you could have your own team while working under a powerful broker like Keller Williams. They're all over the place and international, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things that we love about Keller Williams is all the different playbooks and scenarios that they give agents to help build successful careers, whether you want to be a team, whether you want to be an individual agent, whether you want to be a commercial agent, they have solutions.
And as far as I think an advantage of being part of such a large organization that goes all over the world, what are some of the things that they tell you when you have I guess you still have meetings on Tuesday?
Sure.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Well, anyway, when you have the meetings and you get information about what's going on outside of Houston, whether it's in another state, even another country, because they have their hand on the pulse. What are you hearing, if anything, there, Jacob?
I think
that people would find fascinating.
I think the main thing, like you touched on, is it's such a big company and they offer an ample amount of resources to their agents to make their agents better agents. So trainings, information, to keep you up to date with what's going on in the market. That way we can service our clients better. You know, an informed agent is a good agent. So
Sounds good.
Yep.
Jacob, let's tell people how they can reach you once again.
Yep. So you can reach me by my cell. It's 832-703-7912. It's 832-703-7912.
And Sandy, how can people reach you, Sandy Harrington?
By call or text at 281-995-8814. Again, that's 281-995-8814.
Thanks for being with us, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you, Bill.
Well, as we continue, Kara Moore is back. Del Monte Realty. Kara, here we are. As far as real estate goes, let's tell people you have a very organized approach, I think, also doing tremendous work there with Del Monte Realty. But when you're not doing real estate, I mean, it's a wide world out there, and you have so much great experience. What do you do to unwind?
Well, I just got back from a trip to Italy with a friend, and so I love to travel the world when I am not taking care of my kiddos and, running a household and a business. So.
Oh, cool. What part of Italy were you in?
Florence and Venice and Arezzo, and it was glorious.
How many days?
10.
Oh, my goodness. And that's just a good amount of time to be able to enjoy a country far away, I think.
It was lovely. There's so much more to see, so I do love traveling.
Any particular exciting food dishes that you had, maybe one or two? The food, I would imagine, was
pizza and pasta and more pizza and pasta. So, yeah, things I don't allow myself to indulge in here, I very much did so in Italy, so.
That's fascinating. I've not been to Italy, but on my mother's side, her mom and dad, they came right off the boat those many years ago. They were from Italy, so I have not gone back to see if anybody's still there or even to see the country, but it's on my list to do.
It seems like a good excuse to go back and explore.
I think she was the baby of 16 children, so that's another show, another story, but that's crazy. So in the meantime, once again, we're excited about 2026. Del Monte Realty. There you are. Let's tell people how they can reach you, Kara Moore.
You can reach me at 713-818-9778. Again, that is 713-818-9778. Or if you love to email, it's CARA@delmonte, DELMONTE, HTX.com.
And I don't know if you're planning another trip, but if you were, where's your next port of call?
Ooh.
Have you thought about
Portugal.
that?
I'm always thinking about it.
All right. Well, let us know when you get back from Portugal. Thank you, Kara Moore, for being with us today. And thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. Together with John Bramlett, all of us at Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance, we appreciate you listening. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's right, you could see the show, you could see the guests. If you're just listening to this, you want to tune into the YouTube channel, you can see the special effects, the beautiful outfits. They're right here. Stewart.com/radio, or if it's easier, just go to Radio Bill. Just go to Radio Bill. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Real estate matters every Sunday at 5 on AM 950. Feel that real estate vibe. Streaming nationwide on the iHeart app. Join the conversation. It's a real estate map. What's hot in the market? What's moving fast? Bill Knapik leads the way, never comes in last. We'll talk about homes and the best-selling rates, real estate stories that truly relate, with experts gathered.